Hey guys, so I'm back again. This is the second time recording. No, this is the third time recording this video right here. The last video I ended off with college. No, I ended off with going into college. So this video will speak about me going into college and will continue the rest of my testimony. Now I might speak a little bit fast because the sunlight is going down, I'm losing my natural light, and I gotta get this testimony out there. The camera might look a little bit different. I changed the angle and everything. So hopefully that's fine. But let's get into the story. Leaving senior year, I shut down a lot. I didn't talk to a lot of people. Like I said, I didn't really open up anymore. I had some trust issues now because it was like everyone that I thought would never betray me did betray me, or I thought should have no reason to betray me did betray me eventually. So I left senior year with that kind of energy, yeah, I left and I was very had a lot of, I guess, trust issues, you could say. So I went into college feeling that way. So I went into college really closed. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to let anyone in. And yeah, it's basically me in college. I'm a junior now, so this was freshman year, so this is like kind of still recent. And I had one roommate, and she, like, at first she was fine, she was cool, and then she had one of her friends move in, and we had a triple, so it was just us two in it at first. And so she had one of her friends move in, and so it was 3 people in the room. And that's when things changed, like the dynamic of the room changed, and they would do some stuff like Ouija boards and stuff, and I wasn't with it, especially because of my childhood experiences. I was just like, nah, I ain't messing with those stuff. Like, y'all crazy. Y'all just don't know. But yeah, so they would do all of those things, and I wasn't okay with it. But I never actually like told them that. I just kind of like distanced myself from them, I guess, in a sense. The major story of freshman year that happened, I used to fast a lot, and I still kind of do fast a lot, but the difference was freshman year I was fasting and I didn't really have a relationship with Christ, so I wasn't really praying and fasting. Like, I would pray before I went to sleep, and I would pray in the morning if I remembered. If I would remember that night, like I would pray at night too, like I said. But sometimes I would forget. So it wasn't really like a priority in my life like that. So I would fast and I would be feeding my spirit. When you fast, you feed your spirit. So I would be feeding my spirit, but I wasn't feeding my spirit what it needed to be fed, like the words of God, basically. I wasn't reading my Bible, I wasn't praying and fasting, I was just fasting. And when you just fast, you're opening yourself up to demonic attacks. So you're opening doorways, especially because your windows are taking things in, you're letting things into your body. So I would be watching shows that was all about sexual immorality and fornication and cheating and killing, and all these shows, I was just letting into my spirit and fasting at the same time. Like, that's bad. So that's not the proper way to do it, but I was doing that when I fasted. And I think it could have led to the worsening of like some of the stories that I'm about to tell you in a little bit. I don't really know. But basically, the one major story that happened freshman year was, sorry, somebody was just looking at me. And one major story that happened freshman year was when one day I came from class, and I had a 9 a.m. to 9:50. So I would come from class and take a nap, because I was still kind of addicted to sleeping because of what I used to do when I was younger. I used to sleep all the time. So I still kind of struggle with sleeping. Like, I sleep a lot, but now it's not to mask anything. It's just my body's just used to that, to getting so much sleep. So yeah, so I would just go to sleep after class and take my quick nap before my next class. So I came in, and it was a perfect time because I knew at that time my roommates wouldn't be in the room. So I came in and and so I came in from class and I was trying to go to sleep, and I went to sleep. I fell asleep, and like I said before, I'm very like a light sleeper, so I can hear everything when I sleep, and I can feel things when I'm sleeping and sense things and all that stuff. Like I'm a very light sleeper. So I went to sleep, and as I was sleeping, I heard my roommates, like the springs of the bed. So I heard the spring move, and I was like, well, in my sleep, while I was sleeping, because I think sometimes in my sleep, not dream, I think. So I was like, that's not right. My roommate shouldn't be here, sleeping. So I'm like, let me look and see if she's here. So I tried to get up and look, and then that's when I realized I was going through sleep paralysis. So I couldn't get up. Usually when I sleep, I put the blanket over my face in my room because I just don't want to be bothered. It's just something that I do. So I had the blanket over my face, and then I opened my eyes, and that was the first time I ever could open my eyes during sleep paralysis. Because prior to that day, every time I had sleep paralysis, I couldn't move, so I couldn't open my eyes. But that time I opened my eyes, and I was able to hear, like I heard the bed spring. And then I opened my eyes and I saw my blanket on top of me, and I just felt so like stuck. So I started getting like feeling a little claustrophobic, I guess. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. That's how I was feeling. But I was still breathing. I just felt too closed in. And then I heard, the door was right next to my bed, the door of my closet. So I heard my closet door swing, and nobody else is in the room besides me. So I was like, what is that? And then I felt a presence next to me. I just felt it. And then so I started praying. I'm just praying, like, God, please help me. Can you help me? Please help me. Nothing's really happening. And then I got fed up. I started fighting, and then it finally stopped. The sleep paralysis stopped. And so that's the major thing that happened freshman year. So now we're moving on to senior year, because I just told you that story because that's the first time a lot of things I experienced, like different things in sleep paralysis than I was experiencing before, and I don't know what set that change or how it happened that way, but it just did. So sophomore year comes around, and I'm fine. I'm doing okay. Like, I'm great. I'm in school. I'm getting good grades, and I'm popping and everything. I open up a little bit. Like, I know more people. I sometimes have lunch with people, not all the time. But I was still closed off, and I still didn't trust a lot of people. And I didn't really like being around so much people because there was a lot of drama. Like every week there was somebody who didn't like somebody, So I was kind of like, but I still hung out with some people, and I still was chilling with them and stuff sometimes. And so sophomore year, everything was kind of okay, except like during sophomore year during sophomore year, on one of the breaks, I went home, and I had sleep paralysis, but at this time, something different happened. Like, I was shaking, not like shaking, like shivering, like shaking, like I felt like I had a seizure shaking. And that would happen to me a lot of times. After that night, I think it was during Christmas break or winter break. After that night, my sleep paralysis for that break was just like that for many different nights, and I don't know why. It's just, and I would talk to my boyfriend at that time. I would talk to him about it because he's very like spiritually, I guess, woken, you could say. So I would just talk to him about it, and so he would say, "Oh, that's the demonic forces shaking your bed and stuff." And I was just like, "Well, I don't know." So I lost the footage. So for this little section, I'm just going to record this and place it in the video, and so that you guys can get all caught up when you hear the next part. But basically, the footage that I lost was explaining how during sophomore year of college, I started like doubting Jesus. I was questioning it. I was questioning whether Jesus, like whether he was important to salvation. And I know it sounds really crazy because it's like, how did Jesus do all of this for me? And how did God save me all of these times from these attacks? And then at the back of my head, I have basically, I don't know which other way to say it, but the balls to just deny Jesus. Like, I was over here like, what is the point of praying to Jesus, of asking him for forgiveness when I could just pray to God and all that stuff? And I was like the Israelites when God saved them from the Egyptians, and after a little bit in the wilderness, they were questioning who their God was, and then they built a whole new God out of the golden calf and all that stuff like that. So I was like them in that moment, and I mean, it wasn't good, obviously. Like, hey, I was like going backwards. I don't know how that happened, but and one of the incidents that happened in the summer when I was when God was working on me and bringing me closer to him. There was this one time when I was sleeping, and while I was sleeping, I felt something pulling me from my legs, from my ankles, off of my bed, and no one was in my room. It was nighttime. Everyone in my house was asleep. I felt someone pulling me off of my bed, and I was praying to God, telling him to help me. And meanwhile, I'm getting dragged off the bed, and it wasn't until I said the name of Jesus that the thing stopped, and I felt something pulling me back up from my shoulders, gently back onto my bed. And it was just like, wow, like I just felt like Jesus right there was showing me and proving to me and helping me with my unbelief, like helping me with my doubt. Like, that's one thing. Like, if you have doubts about like Jesus and about God and about anything about what I'm saying, pray and ask God to help you with your unbelief, because he will help you. But anyways, I'm gonna let the next clips play, and hopefully this kind of clear things up. So much peace, and I understood at that moment why I needed Jesus. I needed Jesus to get to God. Like, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. He's the only way to God. No one goes to God but through Jesus. So it was clear to me. It was made clear to me in that moment. And like I said, God, like I post on Instagram sometimes that God can use the bad parts in your life, or he can use situations that you think that he would have no control over, just so that he can show you who he is. He can show you his glory. He can show you how great he is. So I believe he allowed that demon to come attack me that night, just so he can teach me why I need to call on the name of Jesus. And that was just so beautiful. It's like, God is so great. But that happened. So that was the first attack. But still, I still was getting closer to God, getting closer to Christ, reading the Bible more. I was going full force. I wanted to get baptized like literally like a week after I started. And my father was like, nah, like, just chill, because from his point of view, he didn't understand what God was doing to me and how God was transforming me. He knew that I was partying like half of the summer, and he's like, nah, you're not ready. But God was really working on me this whole summer. He was working on me. He was cleansing me. He was bringing me from here to here. That's why, like with the blink of an eye, you see that I went from partying on Snapchat and Instagram to Bible verses to just pushing Jesus in your face, like, get with him, because he is the way. But yeah, so after that first attack, there was another night, second attack happened, and it was sleep paralysis again. This time I was laying on my side, and like I said, I could open my eyes and I can hear. And behind me, I just heard this. Like that. And nobody else is in my room. And I, like, soon as I was like let go of that sleep paralysis, I went to war. I grabbed my Bible. I must have read the whole book of Psalms in like 30 minutes. I kid you not. I had so much energy. I was chasing everything out of my room. I was going to war. Like, my mom came in the room and she was like, everybody's sleeping, like lower it down. I was like, look, you don't even understand what just happened to me. Like, the devil's trying me, and I'm not scared. I'm fighting back this time. I'm fighting back with God on my side. So I was going to war, and I was doing it. I felt so great. And I felt in that moment that God was so proud of me, because, like, for the first time ever, like, that I actually didn't just sit there and just let the sleep paralysis happen. Like, you know, I went to war the right way, to go to war with God on my side. And it was just amazing. It was just so beautiful. So that happened. And then a third attack, and mostly the final attack of the devil that night, not that night, but that summer, was this one time I was trying to go to sleep, and I was just strolling through my phone. I think I kind of read some Bible verses, and I probably was on Instagram and Snapchat, just strolling. And in the corner of my room, there was just a black figure, and I was just like, okay, if I go to sleep, I know I'm gonna have sleep paralysis, because there's just this black figure here, and it's just staring at me. And in that moment, I should have got up and like cast it out, but I didn't do that. I just laid there, and I just was scrolling on my phone. And then like an hour would pass by, and I'll look up, it'll still be there. And then eventually it came to the point where my dad woke up for work, and I was like, well, I'm up for too long and I want to go to sleep. So I left my room and I went and I slept on my dad's spot next to my mom in their room. And the black figure followed me there. And but I was thinking, since I'm sleeping with someone in the room with me, that nothing would happen to me. So I went to sleep anyways, and I had sleep paralysis, and when I opened my eyes, that black figure was on top of me. So, and then when it let go, when it finally stopped, I just stayed awake for the rest of that day until like 10 in the morning, and I finally went to sleep after that. But that was the third attack of the enemy, and I should have went to war, but I didn't. I don't know why I did it. It just didn't. I just wasn't thinking about it at that time. I don't know, but that happened. So that was like that was like the last attack in the summer. And for now, like, attacks happen, but it's like they would try to start up, but there would be like something would stop it before it actually happened. Because like when I'm sleeping, I could sense it coming up, but then it would be like something would stop it or get in the way. And I feel like that's something that's God. Like, he's like, nah, you ain't touching my anointed, you know? I feel like I'm his anointed. I'm highly favored. But there's this other little mini story that confirmed to me that the wet dreams that I was having were actually demons in disguise, because there's this one time I transferred from my sophomore year college to this other college that I'm in right now. I'm in it right now. But I transferred over there, and there was this one time where when I was moving in or moving there or something, I was coming back to like stay here and live here for months on campus, and I fell asleep in the car. While I was sleeping, the demon came to me to try to sleep with me again in my sleep, and he came to me disguised as my ex at the time, and I was in my sleep, I was like kind of into it. But as soon as I was getting more into it, I felt the sleep paralysis coming up, and that kind of reminded me what I have learned about the wet dream. So I looked at him, at my ex in this dream, and I said no. And then like that, the sleep paralysis went away, and I just felt like so much peace in that moment. It felt great. So that kind of was enough to confirm it to me. But hey, if you don't believe it, then I don't know. It's up to you. But that's mostly all the stories. I remember one time that in the summer, after I already started building a relationship with God, there was something else happening to me, and it was hurtful. So I started I was crying one day, just in my room, just crying. I was so stressed out, and out of nowhere, I felt this overwhelming peace and joy just come over me, and I felt in that moment that Jesus was there for me, and it was great. I remember that, like so much amazing, beautiful things has happened. Like God has spoken to me so many times, not in an audible voice. Like I wish I could hear an audible voice. I'm waiting for that, but like through certain ways, and I feel like I should have been came to Christ. Like I waited way too long, and I went through way too much when all of that could have been avoided if I had come to him earlier. And now I'm just at such a peaceful place in my life. I'm not being attacked anymore. I'm happy. Well, not happy, but I have joy, because happiness only lasts moments. Joy lasts forever. To have joy. And I feel blessed. I feel great. Like, it's just amazing. So, and I hope you guys get that too, because the enemy will he does not like us. That's the thing, because we're where God loves, and he doesn't like God. So why would he like us? But he comes to kill, and destroy. And it's like he probably could see what God had in store for me, and he didn't want it to happen. So from a young age, he was trying to get rid of me. And from a young age, he was trying to get me to kill myself, basically. And God knew that he had so much in store for me, and he just had so much planned for my life. And he made me with a purpose, and so I'm here to fulfill that purpose. And he did not only make me with a purpose, he made you with a purpose too. He made everyone with a purpose. So get to it. Like, we don't got that much time left, with the way the world is going. We don't have that much time left. And I hope this video saves some people. Like, I hope this video literally opens some doorway in your life so that Christ could come in and restore everything that's broken in you, because I don't want anyone to go to hell or to be left behind, I really don't. And if you don't believe in Jesus, then I hope that he gives you eyes to see, opens up your heart someday, so that you do and you see him for true. But when he comes, every knee will bow when he comes. So I lift you guys up to him. I lift myself up to him. He's great. He's amazing. And I hope that, like I said, I hope this does something. I literally put myself out there. I'm so vulnerable right now. But I don't believe that God allowed these things to happen in my life for me to just sit quiet and not tell anyone, Even though I feel like telling people might make me look some type of way. It's not about me. It's all about the glory of God. And so I love you guys. I'm sorry I got a little emotional with you guys, but you know, this is a safe space. If you want to ask me any questions or contact me about any of this, or contact me about anything that you're going through and you just want somebody to talk to, then I'm here. But I don't know a lot about like the spiritual realm and everything. I'm still learning. I'm still a baby Christian, but I can only help you but so much. So, but if you do need somebody to talk to, I'm here, and I hope that I can help you some way. I love you guys. And also before I end the video, before I fully came to Christ, and while he was cleaning me up and purifying me, he condemned me to like forgive a lot of people that I had some type of resentment towards, because we wrestle not against flesh but against principalities in high places. So I let all that go. Like, I forgave everyone who's ever like wronged me in any way, and anyone who I've ever wronged in any way, I ask that you forgive me. But because at the end of the day, I realized that they weren't worth my salvation, and I still wanted them to get saved, and I still wanted them to go to heaven, because like, I want everyone to go to heaven. I want everyone to get saved. But I understand a lot of people won't. So I think that's all. I think I touched everything. I mean, there's some stories that I didn't tell because they were way too personal, but if there ever comes a time that I need to tell them, then I will tell them. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys whenever I make another video. Bye.